Hello everyone, welcome to the stream. Let me just get my desk set up a little bit neater. Put my mic where it should be. How's everyone doing today? Can you all hear me okay? Can someone in the chat tell me if you can hear me correctly? Hopefully you can. And then we'll get started once I know everyone can hear me. Got my protein shake. My lunch, so we're all ready to go during the stream. Alright, well, if no one's going to answer me, I guess you all can hear me. So let's take a look at the Bitcoin chart. So yesterday, what we said, or what I said during the stream was, I think this is going to be a triple top. I want to see it come back, then retest the daily VWAP before it closed during the MY session. That's essentially what happened. We just dumped to the daily VWAP, held as support, then we broke through it upon the new day, upon the new daily candle. Thank you, Grogu, and thank you. I guess it's just the stream's a little delayed, so just take a few minutes. But really quickly, really simply, what I was saying yesterday was, I think this is going to be triple top, come back and retest the daily VWAP during the session. That's exactly what happened. Then, new daily candle, we broke to the downside, retested this support level, tested this low, and we pumped back up. And then this morning, coming into the New York session, we created a swing failure pattern. And once again, swing failure pattern, just in case you don't know. I know a lot of people know, but just in case you don't know. A swing failure pattern is when you wick above, in this case wick above because we're in kind of sort of an uptrend, wick above the previous high, but fail to close above. So we wick above and close below. That's considered a swing failure pattern, and that indicates that the most probable play is to the downside. And if it was the opposite way, let's see if we can find one. Currently, yeah, you can kind of use this crazy candle as a swing failure pattern, just to the downside, just to show an example, because I know, like, recently there's just been a lot of swing failure patterns where you wick above, close below, so I just want to show everyone that might not know the other example. So right here, this swing failure pattern, you wick below this previous low, closed above, and then we continue to the upside. So you can see that if you trade that swing failure pattern, it was a crazy candle to begin with, that would have played out fairly well. So right here, we're currently in a swing failure pattern. The technical target for a swing failure pattern is the first take profit is going to be the 618 from the high to the low, so 618. Then the second take profit will be the actual low, and then the third take profit is breaking that low, and we can then look at targets, which we have been over the past week because we've just been in this range for quite some time. And that target right now continues to be this fair value gap, but we go over to the 1 hour chart. This fair value gap, actually, the 15-minute chart, it might be in the 4 hour chart. I apologize. The 4 hour chart, this fair value gap from the 4 hour chart, see clearly, price broke out of this support and resistance zone, but we still have some imbalances within this area given by this fair value gap. We also have a macro fib level that I have on the Bitstamp chart. I just transferred it to Bybit. I only have it on the Bitstamp chart simply just because Bybit doesn't have as much history as Bitstamp, and that's how I got that fib level. So I expect it to still come down and retest this level. This is what we've been talking about over and over and over again, but the market has just been chopping around. So really, you could have some profitable plays if you're playing on small time frames. I know on this channel we usually talk about the 4 hour, daily, stuff like that. But if you've been just trading Bitcoin on the lower time frames, it's been fairly simple, right? We've been in a downtrend, so any sort of pump, you just you try to catch the top. So from this range, right, we can set this range. Let's set this top right there. So from this point, right, and then we continue the downtrend, you could have basically just been shorting this line right here. Anytime we came up to retest this line and just taking profit on the way down, you would have been a very profitable trade. Now, alongside of that, we could have also caught this long right here, just based off of the retest of this low. I believe we also had maybe it was on the 15-minute chart. Yeah, we see that we actually had hidden bullish divergence because we went from here to here, and we went from Just give me 1 second, guys. I apologize. I apologize for that. Just had to take care of some doctor stuff. Coming back to the Bitcoin chart. Bitcoin chart. What I've been saying was could have just shorted this level right here, taken profit on the way down. That was easy. That was extremely easy. And right here we also had bullish divergence off of this low, right? Actually, you can probably use this low right here as a better indicator. So we closed at the same point, but you had hidden bullish divergence because you had a lower RSI. Could have caught that long. Could have also said that you were retesting this low, and then continued to the upside. So that was a fairly easy long to catch on shorter term time frames. Once again, I'm not higher term time frames. Nothing has really changed. I'm still looking for a pullback into this area. Are there any questions based off that analysis? I apologize. I just had to take care of something really quick. Okay. If not, let's go over the Ethereum Bitcoin chart like we have been. Okay, so the Ethereum Bitcoin chart, let's just look on the daily level. Ethereum Bitcoin chart, exactly what we've been saying again on the daily chart. We were looking for this 786 step. We were looking to close above the 786, hold that as a support again, or retest this point of control. And after that, I really want to see this retest of the Valley area high. So we seem to have been just floating around the 786 level. We'll look at small term time frames. We really are just chopping around. We came back, kind of filled this fair value gap. Not exactly, so maybe just one more slight pullback into this area before we continue to the upside. Perfectly normal, nothing to be concerned about. But we did come back, took some of this liquidity, and then continued the upside. So there's nothing really, there's no drives of anything significant. So yeah, it's basically just waiting to see if this 786 is going to hold on the daily. And if so, then I'm looking for this value area high, and then we can catch some nice swing shorts. If we break below this level, then obviously we're going to the point of control. But these are so close together that on the daily chart, that's pretty insignificant. Let's go over to the Ethereum chart. And then after I go over the Ethereum chart, I think I will take some requests on coins, and we can go over whatever coins you guys want to look at, including whatever time frames you want to look at. So Ethereum, once again, we've been talking about this fair value gap. Fair value gap with the 618 right at the bottom of it. So I was expecting Ethereum to come down to this level. Like I was talking about yesterday, we came down into this fair value gap, found support at the 0.5 Fibonacci level, pumped back up, but nothing of real significance, at least for, you could have caught a nice 6.3%. That's 6.3%, it's a very decent move. You can make a lot of, especially with including leverage. However, for me, for how I look at this, it's just not of, it just didn't come to my level, so I just didn't take the trade. We can look at the 30-minute chart again. I believe we also printed a swing failure pattern on the 30-minute chart. So what we're going to look for is at least a pullback to 786 here. Bang. Let me just real quick get rid of those levels. We'll at least look for a pullback to the 786. We can see that we held that as resistance, then flipped it to support. So we're going to look for a pullback to 1624 first, then a retest of the range lows at about 1558. And then after that break, assuming it breaks, then we're going to be looking for the retest of the fill of this fair value gap, the bigger move 618, and also, which is a nice confluence, when we take these Fibonacci levels, it also happens to be the 1618, all within this little area. So that's of great confluence as well. What's the magic buy stamp level? Okay, I can go over that. I think I went over it in one stream, but that was a stream that I think like literally no one came, so that's why I went over it. I have been testing trend-based let me just get rid of this. Trend-based Fibonacci levels. And I did an experiment over a few days using multiple coins of I used coins that ICO'd, so meaning they got listed, and I tried to find where their support and resistance levels are. Because if we look at I think I did this on ICP, and this was a good example. Oh, yep, I just had it. ICP, and this was a great example where the coin ICO'd, we had this big wick, and it was like, where are going to be the support and resistance levels? And using my trend-based Fibonacci levels and the method I'm going to show you in a minute, I think I'm going to show you in the Bitcoin chart just so you understand a bit more. This is kind of like, I add an extra step to this one. But you can see that the support and resistance levels were decent. We had resistance, support, flip to resistance, now support. And this was all based off of just this ICO. And then also a little bit of fitting to the data. So I'm going to show you how to do that real quick. But using the Bitcoin chart just because it's a bit simpler. So let me just get rid of the extending lines. Okay, and then we can see this a bit clearer. So the way this works, trend-based Fibonacci works, is essentially you'll take a swing low to a swing high, and then the pivot, and then the next pivot. Assuming you're in an uptrend, you swing low, swing high, pivot. If you're in a downtrend, swing high, swing low, pivot. So we had a swing low, swing high, and a pivot. And this is what this gives you, and it gives you decent support and resistance levels. Nothing too crazy though. Do I have this on? Yeah, okay. So it gives us huge support and resistance levels, and it works decently. I was like, well, that's cool, but let's just see if I can make it work even better. I believe Chart Champions levels did something like this. They took this to do like this to this to this, and they got like 64K. Yeah, they did this swing low, macro swing low, this swing high to this pivot, and they got like, yeah, they essentially got 63. I'm sorry if this is a bit hard to see on the screen, but they got like the last high in April. Like that's how they got that $64,000 level. That's not the one. So I was like, okay, but let's just see if I can come up with levels that don't really exist yet. And this might seem a little strange, but just bear with me. So what I did was I thought to myself, how do you get this $69,000 top? Right, there must be some data that we're missing to get this $69,000 top, because everything I tried, just no levels indicated this. So what I did was I pulled a trend-based Fibonacci level from this swing low over in 2018, this swing high in April 2021, and I then fitted this level of 10,580. I fitted that by looking at what is holding us. Well, I went basically like this, more or less, and just see what was holding us support and resistance. And the theory behind that was this shouldn't have been the top, right? Everything was indicating that this was the top. PySock a top indicator. A lot of like on-chain data was like this is the top. more or less. So this was just like a fluke or an extension of this move. So I then fitted this. So really the only data point I fitted was 10,580 as the bottom. And I just did that by like eyeing what levels were working. And you see that they've been working fairly well on a daily closure basis. Sorry, let's just go back to the daily chart. On a daily closure basis, they've been working fairly well. You come over to this level right here, was this 48,000 roughly. You can see wick below it, close above it, support. We just accumulate around it, resistance, support, break through it, resistance, almost to the dollar. I mean, it's like probably $100 off. Then broke to the downside to 33,000 roughly, support. Then came back up to this, almost to the dollar again, resistance, broke down, didn't get a retest of this level. But then broke down. You see, we held this as support, broke down, flipped to resistance, resistance, broke through it. Didn't get a nice support retest, to be honest. So we did close below it. But that's like the first time these levels were like kind of sort of invalidated. So now this is where I get this level from. And then I just transferred it to the Bybit chart. So hopefully that can be helpful to you. If you'd like me to go over it for ICOs, I can also do that. There's just some like added step to it. But you see that they're somewhat accurate, especially in the ICP chart. On daily closure basis, once again, it's a daily closure basis, not wick basis. It holds up. They hold up pretty well. Anyway, any coins you guys want me to look at? Just throw them in the chat. I'll break them down. It's very difficult to understand. I apologize. Yeah, I know that technique is definitely a little weird. Maybe there's a better way to explain it. But I haven't ever seen anyone do it, honestly. So I might be the first. I doubt that, but I might be the first. Hello, Larry. Nice to see you here. Nice, that's pretty cool. I haven't tried the extension fib. I'll start playing with it. Yeah, it's definitely a powerful tool on macro time frames. Definitely not. I haven't really found a good hit rate with like on the 15 minute or something like that. But when you're doing like macro swing moves like that, you can definitely get some cool levels out of it. I want to check out OP, no problem. OP on the big Bybit chart. Okay, we got a good decent move off of it. So I think we were breaking this down maybe yesterday. Maybe 1 hour chart. Yeah. Okay, so again, what I was saying yesterday, or maybe this was even in Discord. I forget, to be quite honest with you. But I wanted to see this retest of this value area low. If we break below that value area low, now we have to get confirmation on these coins. Remember, it's low liquidity, so this little break, like this little closure below, is not, it's not of any significance. You have to have like a follow-through candle, more or less, to get full confirmation on these types of coins. It's not Ethereum or Bitcoin. Like these altcoins, you have to get extra confirmation on. So retest this value area low, and if we break below it, I want to see this one fair value gap on the 1 hour time frame, and also this low volume node out of this volume profile get filled. So that gives you like more accurate target within the fair value gap. So you have two confluences for this little area. But we retested the value area low and then continued to the upside. We broke past the point of control fairly easily, and now we're blowing through the value area high. So I would say I would wait to have short positions until you really retest this range high. You might even, because it's such a low liquidity coin, you might just like swing failure pattern it, just take any trap shorts that have stop losses above that range high. So something along those lines. But let's just look for targets above in case you do actually get. Oh, okay. Well, there's not a lot. All right, I guess I'll use a different chart. But let's just get some targets just in case you do break out. And what would, for me, what would confirm a breakout? Once again, it's just like this value area low. One little 1 hour closure above it does not count. I would say 1 hour, like two hour closures above it. 2 1 hour candle closures above it. So you, like one candle closes above it right here. Let's just say like the 1 hour candle closes like here. And then another candle closes like the next candle closes like over there. Right, so you have one closure there, one closure like that. Okay, that's a breakout. But one closure, it's like this. It's just they're not. These coins aren't to the dollar most of the time. So you have to be wary of that. But let's just see maybe the Binance chart. Is this a new coin? I guess this is a new coin. Okay, cool. Well, these are quite annoying to figure out. However, if this is there really no chart with more history? I guess not. Okay, great. Excuse me. Okay, so yeah, you're retesting your macro from the ICO to the range to the low, the 786. After the breakout of that little range, you're essentially just looking at your all-time highs of $2.20. A retest of that. There's just not much to talk about macro-wise with a coin like this. I mean, you do have a nice W pattern, so it does look fairly strong, honestly. I don't know much about the coin, so I don't want to like shill it. It might be a scam or something like that, but you know, you do have a nice W pattern, nice double bottom at the there. So if you have any information about the actual coin, that'd be cool to know, like the fundamentals of it. I guess I can look into it after the stream and see if it's a scam or not. File, no problem. Let's do file. What time frame would you like me to go over? Or would you like me to just do my thing with it? Okay. At least you have something interesting. It's not like every other coin. So we had this, we used to say this swing high, this swing low, and then we could have treated this as a range. And you see we actually broke out of this fairly aggressively, like we just broke out of this little range, and then immediately popped off. So we just take our volume profile from the swing low to the swing high. That is interesting. I don't want to do that. I want to do it to this candle. Yes. Sorry. Okay. Take the volume profile from this swing high to this swing low. And what have we been saying? When the volume profile is just in general, believe it has some more upside. Okay, cool. I think you're correct, which is nice. Let me say, when the volume profile looks something like this, that's heavily skewed to one side, what does that mean? So what I've really been talking about is the value area high and the value area low, and the point of control in reference to those. So let's just say like the POC was like this, right? What does this indicate? Ignoring this, just the value area low. This just value area low and that value area high. What does this indicate? This indicates there's a lot of more trap shorts, right? Because you have volume coming into the bottom. There's a lot of selling at the bottom. That's mostly an indication of trap shorts. But here we don't really have that. We don't really have the point of control skewed to either side, the value area low, value area high. Right? It's a heavy skew. You don't go, oh, it's slightly skewed. No, it's you'll be able to notice it. It's very drastic. But let's take a look at this volume profile. It makes sense, right? that we ranged within this price zone for longer than we probably had this move. So you're gonna have more volume into here. But what does that indicate? You're having volume at the bottom. So that means there's gonna be trap selling at the bottom. See how low volume this area is, right? So you have trap selling at the bottom, also some longs accumulating, and then we break out of this range. You see how aggressive this move is out of the range because you're just squeezing all these shorts from this range, and you're just blowing past all this. So I do agree that they're probably going to have some more upside coming. What would invalidate that is a fairly big invalidation. So you have this gap. You have this fair value gap. And filling that fair value gap and retesting the value area high, right, coming down to this and retesting it would be normal. Like that, you kind of want to see that in an uptrend. But that move is 30%. So when you're talking about in the daily time frame, like 30% move, that's huge. With 3-4x leverage, that's 100%. Mind you, I don't have no idea how much you can use on this coin, but if you're using 10x, that's a 300% trade. So that's a huge move. I don't want to like underestimate that. But coming down and to retest it and then continue to the upside is quite expected / normal. An invalidation of this uptrend would be to get acceptance back into this value area, into this value area. So, I mean, that's like, unless you're on spot, unless you're trading this on spot like that, that becomes quite like redundant almost. It's like, okay, so maybe you should look at smaller time frames on this. Just be wary of where you might go macro, but I mean, you know, when your invalidations are 30% away, you kind of have to take a step back. Oh, maybe I should look at small time frames. Okay, so we come down to the 1 hour. Let's do that. We come down to the 1 hour. We say we set this low to make a new high. So this is your market. This is your market structure low right here. We swing failure pattern it, which is kind of cool. But we didn't get too much of an aggressive move out just yet. So coming back, especially with the way what Bitcoin's looking, and how I expect it to come down a bit more, coming back to retest this low and then continue the upside, perfectly normal. So along on the 1 hour chart, assuming you caught around here, its invalidation point would be when if it would close below this level of 778. So if you close below 778, you flip market structure on the 1 hour time frame, and now you're bearish. And then you can talk about filling this fair value gap. We'll come down to even shorter time frames. It's not looking too bad. I think you longs will probably pay more. Yeah, I do agree that there's probably more upside to this coin than there is downside. But once again, a retest of this level, especially with the way Bitcoin's looking, nothing. Don't be too concerned. Like, if it holds, maybe even add to your long. Not financial advice, of course, but just like some trading ideas. Like if it comes and holds the market structure low, like taking profits on shorts and maybe entering some longs isn't a terrible idea. Bro, one question: why it moved up if it's gonna come back to same area? That's a pretty good question. I mean, that's more of like why does price move? So if you're talking about the daily chart, which is I assume what you're talking about, the reason why price moves is because market makers / smart retail traders, bots as well, are accumulating longs within this area. And dumb gambling retail money are going short at the lows. So in order to squeeze those shorts out, meaning like liquidate them, or maybe not even liquidate them, but just stop them out so that they have to buy the contracts back, and then the market makers can then they have to sell their contracts so the market makers can buy their contracts back. They pump the market. So the market makers who have a lot of money can do this, can enter a lot of market orders and they just pump it, and then retail just kind of continues to steam by getting stopped out and liquidated. Why will it come back to this area, I think? Retesting the support previous resistance level as support is just kind of normal when you see them break out. So that support level happens to be the value area high, which is pretty typical when you're ranging in this type of market. So coming back to fill this area, take any excess liquidity out, because you have to remember that also some dumb retail money is also going along within this and probably hasn't still taken profit, like any profit at all. So coming back to stop them out, or kind of force them to sell their contracts and retest this previous resistance level is just kind of expected. Hello, everyone. It's good to see. I think the 1 o'clock every day has been like helping our viewership. Usually like 2 people show up at a time, and then I have like a lot of views, like a lot of replays, which I'm thankful for, but it's a lot more fun when people are interactive, so I think the 1 o'clock every day is helping that. But it can form higher highs and high lows. Yeah, of course it can. So if we're talking about on the daily chart, of course it can form higher highs. So like this, so right here is a higher high compared to this high. And if you were to come back and set a low here, or maybe this is even your low, but if you came back and set a low here, that's a higher low, because this was your previous low. So, yeah. The only thing I was just saying was this invalidation point for a daily uptrend is from current price is 25% away. So it's, do you really want to trade based off of that? I think that might have confused you when I added that in. Any other coins? Any questions? Just throw them in the chat. Gigantic move. Okay, yeah, it is a trend. And like when you talk about like all these altcoins, yeah, they'll move 30-60% in a day, no problem. And it's like, how was waves? Yeah, some waves is a good one. Some people like to trade that. I think I took a couple trades. Waves. Okay, I guess I was doing like a little TA over there on short-term time frames. You're ranging on the daily time frame, but we'll get to short terms. No problem. No short-term time frames. You set this low, set this high, retest the low. So let's just take a volume profile and just see where we are in respect to all the. Okay, yeah. So your value area low is actually this swing low, which is fairly uncommon. So you might have some chap shorts, nothing too crazy though. It's not like you still have some high volume at the highs, so it's a fairly liquid coin, which is nice to see. You do have this low volume node, and I will kind of just dictate it as something like this. Does that look at? Yeah. Something like this. You can even probably expand it up here as well. So you do have this low volume node up here. Oh no, what did I just do? I just opened a new tab. Oh god. Okay. I did it again. LVN. Cool. Finally got it to type. So coming up to here, you kind of tapped it right here, but coming up to this level at 7.446, 7.28 is to be expected at some point before you kind of break out of this range. The point of control is being respected very well by this, so you have breakthrough, high volume, hold, breakthrough, flip it to resistance, breakthrough, support, now retesting it once again as support. So confirmation of this closure right here would essentially give me a good idea that we're probably going to come up into this low volume node before anything else. There's not much to do downstairs. We are making higher highs, so that is a good sign. While being like contracted within this, so you are contracting, you're making lower highs, higher lows. So you're contracting volume within this range, and with the way the volume profile looks, it shows a slight imbalance in short selling at the bottom. So I think it's probably going to pump into this low volume node. So a confirmation of closing above this point of control right here gives me signal of that. Did you do Sol yet, or Bake? I did not do Sol. I will do Sol right now. Sol got hacked. I'm sure everyone knows that at this point, but like the millionth time, they gotta fix their stuff. Okay, so we had this low volume node, pumped in this low volume node, broke through it, hold the point of control support, broke through the point of control, found some support down here, broke through the point of control again, retest the value high resistance, break through the value area high, came up into the, I believe this is 786, yep, pumped into the 786, broke past the value area high once again, and coincidentally it got hacked, and that made us retest the point of control. While also slightly filling, and if I go to the down 4 hour, while also slightly filling this fair value gap. So this actually like kind of just played out like how it should have. It got hacked, so I don't want to say like came up to so it got hacked. It filled it to the dollar, so it's playing how it should. I believe this is from short-term time frame analysis a little while ago, but this is also good to see. We set this low right here on the 4 hour time frame to make this new high. So this is our market structure. So you kind of actually flip market structure to more bearish market structure. So catching some shorts probably isn't a terrible idea. Excuse me. He broke market structure here by closing below this level, came back, retested it, grabbed some liquidity. This would be your, I would say this is a bit hard because you barely closed it, but I would say this is your bearish order block right here. Bearish order block, dump down into the fair value gap, retest this level, and so I would say that most likely you're going to continue to the downside. Let's look for targets at the downside. Of course, if you're going to stay within this little range, we can just pull Fibonacci levels, and I would say the 761. It's probably the 786 right here where we had this support coming to fill this imbalance would probably be of interest. 38.1. That seems to be a reasonable target for catching a short up here. But really on higher term time frames, we'll just go back to the daily, see what else. So assuming we close below this value at this point of control, I would be looking for just a retest of this value area low. We just haven't seen this in quite some time. So it just seems like the move to the upside is pretty much done on the daily time frame. We did its job, right? We filled the value area, low value node, filled the fair value gaps. So it seems to me as if we close below the point of control, that's more of an indication from big money who pushes the price that we're going to continue to the value area low. Bake. I can do Bake, and don't think I've ever really heard of that one. Maybe it's new. Do you know what this coin does? I'm curious. Okay, so it ICO'd. Any more? Ah. I guess it actually isn't that new. Just new to Bybit. Okay, so this looks like trash. The moment it ICO'd, it just completely got demolished. Oh, yes. Oh, okay. Yeah. But we have been ranging for quite some time, so that is at least a nice thing we can take a look at. So we set this swing low, swing high, range in between, like everything else has been doing since June, like May or June. Been in this for quite some time, so we expect any breakout to be a big explosive move. We see we test this value, our highest resistance, come back to the support. Once again, these types of coins, these low liquidity coins, I want to see a follow-through candle before anything is confirmed. So something like this, where you barely closed above it, doesn't count. You have to have a follow-through candle for it. This right here, where you close below the point of control, doesn't count. You want to see a follow-through candle. Ethereum, Bitcoin, those major altcoins with high liquidity, such as like Solana, you don't need those. I would do it to almost to the tick. But once again, these things are a bit unpredictable. So what do we see? We broke out of it. I would consider this to be a breakout, to be quite honest. You didn't get a follow-through candle, but it's such a significant move that, like 11%, you're just not gonna have to be realistic at some point. This broke out of this range. We retest the value area high, so this actually looks like it's gonna probably retest this range highs, or these range highs right here, at 41.6 cents. Any breakout above that, I want to see this fair value gap above here be filled. Oh, why is it red? Fair gap being filled above here at 48.5, 46.1. And then we'll probably see a rejection off of that. Then it comes back like something along these lines, where you come back here, maybe even just break through it, but maybe we'll just get like a short pullback up to here, come back, retest, and then we can maybe break down, but maybe we can see continuation to the upside. Of course, this has been in a macro downtrend for quite some time, so the likelihood that we're going to like break to the upside is kind of wishy-washy, so probably just fill that value, fair value gap, continue to the downside. Are there any drives of anything on the daily? No, you don't have any drives of bearish divergence or anything like that. Lower term time frames, still good. So where on lower term time frames does this move get invalidated? And maybe I can now take this, because I just wanted to see the history, but we can take this the Bybit chart, because most of you are probably trading on Bybit. Let's just see where we are, where this invalidation will become. So on the 1 hour time frame, I would say this upwards move becomes invalidated with any hourly closure and a follow-through candle. Once again, a follow-through candle. 32.65 cents. So any closure below that on the 1 hour, the 1 hour market structure for me flips, and how I trade, shorts become more aggressive than longs. Doesn't mean you don't long, just means more aggressive. Any other coins? Wow, we have 7 viewers now. This is climbing. We're doing so well. Great job, everyone. It's like the most we've ever had. Any other coins? Let's take a look at SPX while everyone thinks about what coins they want me to look at. Let's take a look at SPX. Thank you, Han. I appreciate the kind words. If you're still watching, I think. So SPX, I was expecting a slight pullback, to be honest with you. We've been talking about this slight pullback. I guess this is your slight pullback right here. I don't know. But you'll come back to just retest this previous high. That's all it is. Come back to retest this previous high. But yeah, we still have this. We still do have this bearish divergence built in. And you also are printing bearish divergence on the 4-hour. So eventually we'll get that pullback. But yeah, just continuing the uptrend, retest, come back to the value, the range highs. It's just kind of boring, more or less. IDO, is that what that is? Is that LDO? Was that a... Okay, LDO. This is not on Bybit, but this is on Binance. So we can take a look at it. I know some people still do trade on Binance. Okay. Wow. You love to trade these coins that just like ICO'd a few months ago. Cool. So we can treat this as a macro range high, range low. So we broke out of our value area high right here, and we never came back to retest it, so we might come back and retest it. Ideally, I mean, what is this kind of showing? Assuming we close above the 6.8 Fibonacci level, we have almost zero volume on this wick on the volume profile. So you expect it to fill it at some point. So you're going to reject out the 786 right here, come back and retest your swing highs. Which one it is, I don't really have much of an opinion of, to be quite honest with you. So either or, if you see a rejection on the daily, the 786 or the on the range highs, I want to see a retest of this value area. So something like, let's just say rejects 786, come back, retest this value area high, which is the 382 Fibonacci level. Once again, previous support, gonna eventually retest it. Previous resistance, you're gonna eventually retest it as support. Just makes sense, right? You can't let traders profit too long. You're gonna have to grab that liquidity back. We also have a fair value gap, no surprise, at that level. So you have extra confluence for it to come back. I just want to be careful because I just want to see if we have any drives of bearish or bullish divergence. You do have a slight drive of bearish divergence between this and this. So just be wary of that. That doesn't mean that you're going to come down necessarily, right? We can have multiple drives of bullish, bearish divergence. So you can have another drive when we come up to the 786, and then we continue. Then we can fall to the downside. Where does this move get invalidated on the 1 hour chart? Just because these percentages are quite big, so I just want to like make sure these invalidation ports aren't too far away. The that's what I was missing, the magnet too. Oops. A 1 hour closure, either you kind of have to use your own judgment. So either a noticeable closure, like a significant closure below, or a slight closure with a follow-through candle that also closes below $2.15. That would invalidate this upward move on the 1 hour chart, and then if you're trading the 1 hour chart, shorts become more aggressive than longs. Bro, all these coins on ETH ecosystem pumping. Yeah, I don't know. I have noticed that maybe that's because Sol's down. Has it been the last day? Maybe that's why everyone's like, screw Sol, I'm done with that blockchain. Hacked for the millionth time. Alright, guys. Are there any other coins? Because if not, then I will wrap this up. But I'll keep going until you run out of coins. Make sure to join a Discord in the description. Good traders in there. And talk to them. It's completely free. Any other coins? Alright, I think I'll wrap it up there. Alright, guys. Thank you all for coming. I really appreciate it. We're up to 8 viewers now. That's crazy. Oh my god. So, I guess the consistent time frame, 1 p.m. Eastern Time, is when I will do the streams consistently every weekday. Obviously, if something just comes up, then I might have to push it, but it should be fairly consistent. This time seems to be a good time in my schedule. So, hope you all have a great rest of your day. Once again, Discord link is in the description. It's free. Come meet us all. XRP, no. Alright, we'll do XRP. And then I'll go. I'll do XRP really quick. Okay, so you rejected off the 786, more or less as expected. You broke through the 618. You tried to hold that support, you broke through it with this huge wick. You invalidated this move up with breaking this low right here. So you broke through this low. You kind of want to see... yeah, I almost got out of this. Not that I mind. I chose to do this. So this is kind of your bear shorter block right here. Bear shorter block right here. Let's just change it. So rejecting at this level is kind of to be expected. You kind of already rejected off of it, honestly. You filled the top, came back to the bottom. And then if there's any drives of any, yeah, there's no real drives or anything. So coming back to retest the 618 again, nothing too bad. Just keep in mind this huge wick. Just keep in mind that filling this wick would kind of make sense at some point. I don't, yeah, that's crazy. But what is that, like 5%? 4%. Alright, yeah, that's crazy. But keep in mind that filling that wick is probably going to happen at some point. But the next level of support will just obviously be the 0.5 Fibonacci level, which is also this resistance breakout zone support. So bouncing off of that level would not be unexpected. Alright, that is the last one I will do. Thank you all for watching. Discord link is in the description if you want to come talk to us. All very good traders in there. It's completely free. Also, there's a Bybit link in the description. 30% off all your fees, maker and taker. So if you're trading on Bybit already, it's a leverage trading platform for crypto. I think it's the best. It never goes down. Never locks you out like other exchanges. 30% off all your fees, so save money. Just make an account through that. Also, just one other thing, there is an, if you want to learn more about NFTs, I'm not talking about buying NFTs or anything like that, just actually like learning about how they work. There's a link in the description to a Discord that I'm in, that like mints, creates some NFTs, and I joined it for fun to learn more about it, and the admins and the moderators there were very, very nice. So if you just like, I know a lot of traders watch these streams. We're just trying to like cross-pollinate more or less. Like I get to like show them how to trade, and then like you can join and just learn how NFTs work, because I just didn't know how NFTs work. I had no idea until I just talked to them. So that link is also in the description, also completely free and everything like that. So I hope you guys have a great rest of your day, and thank you all for watching. I'll see you tomorrow.